Okay, so you probably already know that USMLE Step 1 is going to be converted to pass-fail in 2022, which means that residency programs will have no choice but to rely more on Step 2 CK and Step 3 scores, right? Also, for busy New York City and Chicago hospitals, Step 3 is an unofficial requirement to get their interviews. In this video, we're going to look at my Step 3 experience, the resources that I used, and my scores. So step 3 is a 2-day long exam and can only be given inside the USA. Day 1 only has multiple choice questions that focus mostly on the basics, while day 2 has more advanced clinical style multiple choice questions and a unique exam format called the clinical case simulations, commonly known as the CCS. In these case simulations, you have to follow and manage a patient virtually, and you're graded on how well you have treated the patient. As far as total preparation time is concerned, it took me 3 whole months to prepare for step 3, while I was also taking my residency interviews in the USA and exploring the New York City. I think 3 months are enough for almost everybody. My main resource was UWorld. Every day I did one block of the UWorld questions system wise. The questions in step 3 UWorld are very weird and ask you about the prognostic factors of different diseases, etc. So my UWorld percentage used to be between 50 and 65%. I'd advise you not to take it personally because your final score in step 3 is boosted heavily by the CCS performance. Also, since I took step 2 CK fairly recently, my concepts were still fresh and I did not have to use any book with the UWorld. However, if there has been a long time since you took step 2 CK, I recommend Master the Board step 3 book to supplement the UWorld. I've pasted the link to buy Master the Board step 3 book in the description. Before we move on to the CCS, can you quickly like this video and subscribe to my channel? Thank you. Okay, so regarding CCS, I tried to solve the CCS cases in UWorld, but they were too scary for me in the start and I didn't know what to do at all. So I bought the Archer Video Rapid course, and I think you should too. The Archer videos give you a rough idea of how to approach each case, and once you're done with them, you feel really confident to solve these cases on your own. CCS case performance is really important because the CCS portion decides how high your score is going to be. I've pasted the link to buy Archer videos in the description. I think the $70 investment is worth it. Anyways, about my assessments, I took UWorld self-assessments a few days before the exam and scored 207 in assessment 1 and 214 in assessment 2, and my USMLE Step 3 score came out to be 233. The difference in assessment scores and actual exam scores is because of the fact that the UWorld self-assessments do not take into account the CCS performance. So if you score above 200 in the UWorld self-assessments, I think you are good to go and you should take the exam. Finally, some tips regarding step 3. First of all, don't delay the CCS preparation till the end. Start doing case simulation practice as early as possible in your prep so that you can develop some reflexes by the time your exam date arrives. Also, ideally, you should keep at least a 3-day interval between the day 1 and day 2 of the step 3. During these 3 days, you should go through all the UWorld cases one by one, so you'll have enough practice to tackle the case simulations on day 2. Lastly, there's a misconception floating around that you need to have residency experience to solve the case simulations. Not true at all. I took it before starting my residency and with minimal real-life clinical experience, and it turned out fine for me. So try to take it before the next match cycle and you can thank me later. So to summarize, for the question portion, I think UWorld step 3 is enough. If there's been a long time since you took step 2 CK, I think you should refresh your concepts with Master the Boards 3 or MTB3 book. For case simulations or CCS, start practicing the cases as early as possible. Finally, UWorld self-assessments are a good indicator for your performance in the MCQs portion. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask me in the comments. And that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.